The eighth objection in the series of 50 objections that I've been replying to that are offered against Christianity and against belief in God. The eighth objection is kind of an unusual one. It focuses on near-death experiences. Near-death experiences is a large body of clinical data, anecdotal evidence or data that has been accumulated. There's a variety of different sources. You can look up near-death experiences online and you'll find a ton of different websites that focus on this. You'll find lots of different books and compilations of experiences out there. You'll find many people trained in the medical fields, in neuroscience and so on, who weigh in on these experiences and what they mean. The reality is that people near death or people who experience clinical death, in a sizable percentage of those instances, when they are resuscitated, they often will remember the experiences that they have. I don't know what the statistics are right now. I think it's somewhere around 20 or 30% of people who experience clinical death report vivid memories of experiences that they had during that period of time, whenever their body was shutting down, or perhaps even after, for all practical purposes, there was no bodily function going on. They seem to record experiences that they were having at those moments. Now, the question is, I mean, the argument that's being made here is that oftentimes Christians use this as an argument that death is a gateway into an afterlife, and the fact that people come back and report experiences that they had is evidence of that. The website, or the article that's related to this issue on the website that I've been responding to, argues that it's been scientifically proven that these experiences are not something that involves leaving the body. This is simply a chemical reaction in the brain at the moment of death. It's an experience that can be reduplicated with certain kinds of drugs injected in the body that create the same type of experience that a person has, and therefore there's no evidence that these kinds of experiences offer for any kind of afterlife. If you study the issue, I think you'll find out that it's not quite so unambiguous as he makes it out to be. The author here makes it out to be that this is an open and shut case. Everything has been determined. It's already been proven that this is the case. Science has demonstrated that near-death experiences, there's nothing mysterious about them at all. I think this is a significant overstatement of the reality. The reality is that there are numerous different theories of what's going on in these experiences, and they don't all fall neatly and nicely into one category. There's a lot of dispute among this in the scientific community, among people who devote their lives to studying these sorts of things. One of the fascinating features of these experiences, and I'll just give my opinion here, because I wouldn't use this as an argument or any kind of decisive argument for Christianity or belief in God, but while we're on the topic, I think there are two or three interesting points, at least to my mind, that I would make on this issue. One of them is that these near-death experiences oftentimes involve people talking in detail about things that were going on after they were declared clinically dead. And so they might describe what was going on in the room, they might describe conversations that were going on. And these experiences, if they are valid, and there seem to be a good number of them, if these experiences are real experiences, to my mind, they suggest that there is an ongoing state of consciousness in which a person can be aware of what's going on in an environment, but yet the normal bodily activities, brain activities that normally accompany those experiences are no longer taking place. So from all detection, it appears as if brain activity has ceased, but yet a person is able to report in some detail what is going on whenever their brain is not carrying on any activity. If those reports are sound and if they're valid, and there seems to be some evidence that they are, to my mind they support the idea that the human person is not reducible to the body or to the brain, and that there is a mind that transcends the activity of the body, and perhaps at death the mind continues in its operations freed from or separated from the normal bodily activity that takes place alongside of it. In any case, I wouldn't put all my case on that. I think I'd want to build a bigger case and carry on a longer discussion, but I think that these are interesting observations. I certainly would not want to take the claims that people make about what they saw during these experiences as having significant theological value. Sometimes I see books on near-death experience where people are trying to prove something about the afterlife, like the nature of God, or that Christianity is true, or that something else is true. I think that what happens, in my view, Probably what happens when a person is dying is there is something that the brain does to help alleviate that experience. I think also there is something going on in the deeper recesses of the consciousness of the person and the life of the person on the level of the mind that continues to exist even when the body is shutting down. I think that when a person is resuscitated, they tend to interpret that experience alongside of whatever it is they believe in this life. So if they experience a bright light, a warm feeling, a feeling of being with family, they might interpret that in the religious symbolism that they would be accustomed to in this life. I don't think that proves anything one way or the other about the nature of the afterlife, but it does suggest that people are having these experiences and that they are interpreting them alongside of or along with their belief system that they have in this world. Again, it doesn't prove anything one way or the other as far as what the afterlife fully consists of, but to my mind, the value of near-death experiences is that they, if anything, they show that death is not necessarily the end of the human person. They offer to us some hope, just from a scientific medical standpoint. They give to us some hope that supports the Christian hope that beyond this life there is yet another way or mode of existing for us as human beings, and that involves our ongoing conscious life.